Good morning, America. We're starting today with a critical weather update that affects a significant portion of the nation. Today, over 125 million Americans are under extreme heat alerts. That's nearly 40% of the U.S. population facing potentially dangerous conditions. This intense heat wave is stretching far and wide, impacting communities from the heartland in the Midwest all the way to the bustling cities of the Northeast. This isn't just your typical summer heat. It's a historic, life-threatening event, pushing the limits of what our bodies can endure. We're talking about temperatures that could lead to serious health consequences if precautions aren't taken. Temperatures are soaring to dangerous levels, with many areas expected to break records that have stood for decades. This extreme heat is putting everyone at risk, from those simply walking down the street to those working long hours outdoors. It's especially critical to protect the elderly, who are more susceptible to heat stroke and other heat-related illnesses. Children, with their smaller bodies and developing systems, and those with pre-existing health conditions are also particularly vulnerable during this heat wave. Even healthy adults are vulnerable and should not underestimate the dangers of prolonged exposure to these extreme temperatures. Those who work or exercise outdoors face an elevated risk and must take extra precautions to stay safe. This includes staying hydrated, taking frequent breaks, and wearing appropriate clothing. The culprit behind this oppressive heat is a heat dome, a massive high-pressure system that's settled over a large portion of the country, acting like a lid on a pot. This system is trapping heat and humidity, creating conditions that feel even hotter than the actual air temperature. It's turning our cities and towns into ovens, with urban areas experiencing an even more intense urban heat island effect. Emergency services are overwhelmed, responding to a surge in calls related to heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Hospitals are seeing a surge in heat-related illnesses, straining resources and putting medical professionals under immense pressure. This is not just a forecast for the future, it's happening right now, with record temperatures being recorded across the country. We must take this seriously. It's a matter of life and death for some. Check on neighbors, especially those who are elderly or have mobility issues. Pay particular attention to those without air conditioning, and help them find cooling centers or other sources of relief. Avoid unnecessary outdoor activities, especially during the hottest parts of the day. And stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. The sun may be shining brightly, tempting you to go outside, but this is a day for caution, not recreation. It's simply not worth the risk to your health. We'll keep you updated with expert advice from meteorologists and the latest developments as they unfold. The peak of this heat wave is still ahead for many areas, so it's crucial to stay vigilant and prepared. This is a national emergency, demanding our collective attention and action. And our response starts at home and in our communities, with each of us doing our part to protect ourselves and others. Stay informed by monitoring weather alerts, stay safe by following the guidelines we've outlined, and look out for each other. Because in times like these, community is our greatest strength. What exactly is a heat dome? It's a term we're hearing more and more, especially during the summer months, but what does it really mean? Let's break down this phenomenon and understand the science behind it. Picture a giant invisible lid sitting over a large area of the country, maybe even spanning several states. Imagine the air trapped beneath a glass dome, baking under the sun. It's caused by a stubborn high-pressure system that sets up shop and refuses to budge. This isn't just any high-pressure system. It's a particularly strong and persistent one. This high-pressure system resides in the upper atmosphere, acting like an atmospheric bully, influencing weather patterns far below. It pushes air down, compressing it and causing it to heat up. This downward motion effectively traps heat at the surface, preventing it from escaping into the upper atmosphere. The result is relentless, building heat that intensifies day after day. Temperatures soar, records are broken, and the heat becomes oppressive. There's no escape day or night as the heat lingers even after the sun goes down. Nighttime temperatures remain stubbornly high, offering little relief. And to make matters worse, humidity gets trapped too, adding another layer of discomfort. The air becomes thick and heavy, making it difficult to breathe. This combination of heat and humidity makes it feel even hotter than the actual temperature, what we call the heat index, or the feels-like temperature. High humidity blocks sweat from evaporating from your skin, which is your body's natural cooling mechanism. As a result, your body can't cool down effectively, leading to overheating and potential health problems. This dangerous combination leads to serious health risks that everyone should be aware of. These risks include heat exhaustion, which can progress to the much more severe and life-threatening heat stroke. The heat dome also creates a dangerous feedback loop, exacerbating the already extreme conditions. Clear skies mean more sun beating down, intensifying the heat and creating even hotter conditions. This intense sunshine bakes the ground, heats the asphalt, and further warms the surrounding air, creating a vicious cycle. Relief only comes when the stubborn high-pressure system finally weakens or moves on, allowing cooler air to move in. Until then, millions of people are forced to endure oven-like conditions, struggling to stay cool and safe. Understanding the science behind the heat dome is crucial for preparing for and mitigating its impacts. It helps us grasp the seriousness of what we're facing and take appropriate action to protect ourselves and our communities. It's not just about being uncomfortable for a few days. It's a real and present threat to public health, especially for vulnerable populations. So, stay informed, stay alert, and take necessary precautions to stay safe during these extreme heat events. To truly grasp the magnitude of what we're experiencing, to understand how extreme this situation has become, we need to look at some stark comparisons. We're not just talking about a few hot days, we're talking about a fundamental shift in weather patterns, a deviation from what we consider normal. Consider this: cities in the Midwest and Northeast, regions known for their distinct seasons and moderate summers, are experiencing temperatures that are incredibly hotter than the Bahamas right now. A place synonymous with tropical breezes and comfortable warmth is now cooler than some of our major metropolitan areas. Indianapolis, Detroit, and Philadelphia, major hubs of population and commerce, are not just approaching but hitting triple digits, a level of heat that poses significant risks to public health and infrastructure. And it's not just the air temperature. With heat indexes factored in, we're seeing numbers climb up to a staggering 115 degrees. This feels-like temperature is what our bodies actually experience, making the heat even more oppressive and dangerous. This isn't normal. This is far beyond the typical summer heat we've come to expect. It's not just a heat wave, it's a profound atmospheric anomaly, a distortion of our usual weather patterns that demands our attention. Unlike tropical islands, which benefit from constant airflow and the moderating influence of the ocean, we don't have those natural ocean breezes to cool us down, to provide respite from the scorching temperatures. The urban heat island effect exacerbates the problem, trapping heat within our cities. Under the oppressive heat dome, a high-pressure system that traps hot air, air is stagnant, offering no relief, and humidity is high, making it feel even hotter and hindering our body's ability to cool down effectively. This combination of extreme heat and high humidity is what makes conditions even more dangerous, pushing our bodies to their limits. A 98-degree day in Pittsburgh, with its characteristic humidity, can feel subjectively worse, more oppressive, than a 90-degree day in the tropics, where the air is often drier and breezes are more prevalent. We're redefining what a heat wave means. The old definitions simply don't capture the intensity and duration of what we're facing. Sustained, record-breaking heat, lasting for days or even weeks, is the new benchmark, the new reality we must confront. This is not just an inconvenience. This is a public health crisis, straining our resources and putting vulnerable populations at risk. This is not just a weather story to be passively observed. It's an emergency that demands immediate action and long-term solutions. When Ohio, a state far removed from the equator, is experiencing temperatures hotter than the Tropic of Cancer, it's a clear and undeniable warning, a signal that our climate is changing in profound and alarming ways. Our climate zones are behaving in unprecedented ways, mimicking the conditions of the deep tropics, but without the natural relief, the cooling mechanisms that those regions typically enjoy. This is a wake-up call for all of us, a stark reminder of the urgency of the climate crisis. We must take action, both individually and collectively, to protect our families and communities, to mitigate the effects of this extreme heat, and to work towards a more sustainable future. The stakes have never been higher. Our health, our safety, and the future of our planet depend on the choices we make today. The Ohio Valley and Great Lakes are at the epicenter, with cities like Cincinnati and Cleveland shattering century-old records. Heat indexes reach 110 to 115 degrees, numbers not meant for human endurance. The heat dome is now moving east, putting cities from DC to Boston in the danger zone. Even Caribou, Maine is breaking heat records. Urban areas suffer more due to the heat island effect. Concrete and asphalt trap even more heat. This isn't a one-day event. It's a relentless, multi-day ordeal with little nighttime relief. Bodies, homes, and infrastructure never get a chance to cool down. Each day adds to the strain, increasing health risks. Records are being shattered, not just broken. Every new high stresses our communities, power grids, and first responders. The coming days will test our resilience like never before. We're witnessing history. Let's not become its victims. Extreme heat is a silent danger, leading to heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Warning signs include dizziness, heavy sweating, and confusion. Act fast if you notice them. Hospitals and emergency services are overwhelmed with heat-related cases. First responders are stretched thin, working in dangerous conditions themselves. The power grid is under immense strain as air conditioners run non-stop, raising the risk of blackouts. A power outage now could be catastrophic, especially for vulnerable people. Roads and train tracks are buckling under the heat, disrupting transportation. This crisis exposes deep inequalities. Those without AC or who must work outside are hit hardest. The heat's impact is cumulative and deadly, even without dramatic visuals. We must recognize these risks and act to protect ourselves and our most vulnerable neighbors. Cities are responding with urgency, declaring heat emergencies and opening public cooling centers. Libraries, community centers, and schools offer air-conditioned relief for anyone in need. Public pools and spray parks are open longer to help families cool down. Officials are using emergency alerts websites and social media to spread safety information. Utility companies are delaying maintenance and managing the grid to prevent blackouts. They're asking everyone to conserve energy, raise your thermostat, use appliances at night, and close blinds. This coordinated response is vital, but it depends on all of us. Pay attention to alerts, use cooling centers if needed, and help conserve energy. Together, we can get through this crisis safely. Your safety starts with a plan. Avoid strenuous outdoor activities, reschedule or cancel them. If you must be outside, stick to early morning or late evening. Wear light, loose clothing, a hat, and sunglasses. Hydrate constantly. Don't wait until you're thirsty. Avoid sugary drinks, caffeine, and alcohol. Check on vulnerable neighbors and family, especially those living alone. Never leave pets in cars. Make sure they have water and shade. If you lack AC, keep blinds closed and use fans. But remember, fans alone aren't enough in extreme heat. Spend the hottest hours in air-conditioned public spaces if possible. These simple steps can save lives. Your personal safety plan is your best defense. When will this end? Relief is coming for some, but not all. The Midwest and Ohio Valley will see a cold front and cooler air soon. Chicago and Detroit should return to normal temperatures by early next week. But the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic will face the worst heat this weekend, with dangerous heat indexes persisting. The cold front will move slowly, so relief for the East may not come until Monday or Tuesday. Meanwhile, the Southeast and Southern Plains could be next as the heat shifts. This pattern shows how persistent and widespread these events can be. Don't let your guard down. Stay vigilant and follow local forecasts. Summer is just beginning, and more extreme heat could be ahead. Stay prepared and stay safe. This heat wave is historic not just for its intensity, but for its early arrival and vast reach. It's a warning sign our climate is changing, and extreme heat is becoming more common. Scientists link these events to global warming. Higher baseline temperatures mean more intense heat waves. Records are being shattered by several degrees in places unaccustomed to such heat. This is a preview of what could become the new normal if we don't act on climate change. The stress on our infrastructure, health systems, and economy will only grow. This isn't a distant problem, it's happening now. We must invest in resilient infrastructure and ensure everyone has access to cooling. Let this be a catalyst for change. A safer, more sustainable future is possible.